Welcome to another exciting edition of the P&B Sports Show. I'm your host, Abel Sunday. Today, we turn our focus to Nigerian basketball as a leadership controversy has sparked protests at the National Stadium in Abuja on Friday, raising serious questions about governance, tenure elongation, and the future of the sport in the country. To unpack this development, we are being joined virtually by our in-house sport analyst, Tom Aroko. And with me in the studio, we have a distinguished stakeholder deeply involved in the grassroots development and sport administration. He is the founder and president of North Central Basketball Challenge and a team manager with Hotco Basketball, the president manager of Next in Line Africa, and the vice president of Niger Sport Outreach, Dr. Beg Jang. This promises to be an engaging and insightful discussion as we examine the issue, the implication, and the way forward for Nigerian basketball. Grab your teacup because P&B Sports start now. Welcome back. It's the P&B Sports Show, reaching you live from the nation's capital. Of course, I've been joined by our one of the, in fact, I don't know, I think Happy New Year, Dr. Benjang.
Good morning, P&B Sports. Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, since this year we've not seen. The last time we came to the studio was like 5 months or 6 months there about last year.
Yes, sir. It was very beautiful.
It's always a pleasure. Happy New Year, Mr. Dr. Benjang. And of course, we have been joined by our in-house sports analyst, our ever-trusted Tom Aroko, the tallest man in Abuja. Tom, good morning. And how are you doing this morning?
Good morning, Abel. I'm perfect. I'm happy, especially outside Nigeria about Morocco.
That's true, because I think that's what we want to start with before we go to the main gist for the day. Doctor, Nigeria beating Algeria. What? Were you able to sleep on Saturday? Because I saw your status, I saw how you're posting it everywhere. Even when the BUA chairman promised to give a huge amount, I don't want to say that because maybe bandits no come here. Promised to give huge amount of money. But what is your take on that game?
It was such a beautiful game, coming off from what happened with Osimhen and Lukman. I think Osimhen has proved himself very well again. They are playing more as a team. They are showing resilience. They are showing that they are really hungry for this this position, and them going into the semis. I think the energy they are coming in with is going to be very, 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 very tough. Playing against the host team. I'm sure with what we played against Algeria, we have a very good chance of getting into the final. And with what Boa and other people have promised them, I think that's enough motivation for the team. But let's forget about the financial motivation. They already have, they've missed on, I think, the World Cup.
The World Cup, yeah.
So right now, they need to prove themselves.
This is the only thing they have.
This is the only thing. This is among other things that they have. But, football is in your lifetime. You need to accomplish something. If someone like Osimhen wants to accomplish what someone like Yekini has accomplished, this is the stage he has to show himself. He can't show himself on the World Cup. This is the AFCON where he has to show himself on the African soil. So I think it's a good one for Nigeria. It's a good one for us here.
Perfect. Okay, Tom, let me come to you. Osimhen's controversy, he has an altercation with Lukman, and the whole internet went ablaze. Everybody was attacking it. This is the first time I see that people even criticize Osimhen openly. Some people are saying, drop him. But do you feel, or do you think that Osimhen actually vindicates himself by giving one assist and also scoring a goal in the quarterfinals against Algeria?
Yes, Osimhen actually vindicated himself, and I think he decided to make amends for the mistake that he made in the previous match against Mozambique for all. What he did for us was fantastic. He had a goal. He had a goal in the second half. I was wondering what was happening in the first half, but in the second half, he had a header. Then he also had a goal that he could have scored. But he said, you know what? It's about the Nigerian team. It's about Super Eagles and the fans back home. and he passed the ball to Akko, and Akko put Zidane's son on the floor. That's when we look at Zidane on the floor, dribbled him, and puts the ball at the back of the net. And I do not think there is a better way to make amends than to win a neighboring country to Morocco. That a team that had a lot of fans in the stand, and it seemed like Nigeria did not even have any fans in the stand. So it was fantastic, and I think Osimhen did the right thing on the pitch.
Okay, before we leave this topic, Bejang, I wanted to highlight on this. After the celebration of Akko after scoring that goal, and the thing has been viral on the internet. Seeing him doing that stand, the Coco, I think that is the guy's name, I think Coco. But the first prime minister of DR Congo, that was murdered one time ago in 19 something, I can't remember. Then seeing him doing that the sign and the way the statue was standing, and if you remember, there was a guy from DR Congo that always would just start anytime DR Congo is playing, we stand on the stadium and do that, and that really go there. But during Algeria versus Morocco, Algeria versus DR Congo game, one of the Algerian players just had to how do I call it? Should I say that is a mockery? Had to mock the guy doing that, and I think that sign symbolized Africa and what we stand for and believe for. But for him to do that I think is disrespectful. But Akko came to wipe that, just like when Jesus Christ came to the world and he had to die for our sins. So he came to clean that one away after scoring against Algeria, and he did that. What I don't know. Let me get your take on that.
Going into that match after the Algerian team had already disrespected
the DR
Congo team on mocking how their ex-leader or their late leader,
the statue of their
late leader. Going into that match, the DR Congo team, other African teams, Ghanaian teams that were always having issue
with us.
They were saying, Nigeria, you need to
do this.
And yes, Akko came up to the occasion. He had a very beautiful goal, and he showed the solidarity that yes, we are with you. And this is more energy for the Nigerian team going into the semis.
Yes.
The other African teams are supporting them.
Yes.
I know of media platforms from Ghana, from South Africa, that have been posting on this. The DR Congo media outlets have been posting on this. So they are right behind Nigeria. And right now, anybody that wants to try such things, that there's always a side that will.
Now it's like Africa against the North Africa.
Yes, Africa, actually.
Because even Morocco is from North Africa, so African against the North Africa.
And they are not even looking at it that they are a French-speaking country, they are francophone.
Exactly.
They are just
united for Africa.
United for Africa, and that's the essence of, I think, AFCON, bringing the whole continent together. Yeah.
Well said, Bejang. But let's dive into the main gist for today. And Bejang, you've been on ground. You've been one of the advocate for good governance, good leadership for the NBBF. You've been pushing this thing for years. What brought that idea? Protest on Friday, seeing that the tenure elongation, they don't want to leave the seat, or probably they want to add more this thing. I don't know, but what really agitate? Why the agitation? Why did this protest come out on Friday? Let me start with that before I will give I'll also go to Tom's. Tom will also give me his own take on this.
Okay, thank you very much. So to debunk, it wasn't a protest.
Okay,
it was just an awareness. We heard rumors that there might be a tenure elongation. First, it was a third term, which was allegedly rumored, before we now heard of the tenure elongation. The lead board had their elections January 31st, 2022, but they claimed that they got inaugurated by October. So the Director General of the National Sports Commission wanted having like a meeting, a parley with our basketball stakeholders, which he invited all stakeholders, meaningful stakeholders, from the current board members to the ex-board members, coaches, the technical part of Nigerian basketball, the players. He invited us for the meeting. So we concerned basketball stakeholders, we formed the group, the Nigerian Basketball Forum Group, which is both in the Savannah and the Atlantic Conference.
Yeah.
We have a central working committee, which they set up from Lagos. We in Abuja here, we're handling the affairs that we're working here in Abuja. So we set up this committee to see how there shouldn't be need for any tenure elongation. These people, the current board, they've served well. Can a new hand come in? You understand? So when the Director General of the National Sports Commission called for this meeting, we just wanted making an awareness that, please, sir, no matter what, we are tired. The Nigerian basketball space has faced poor performance in grassroots development. It got to a level, the technical part of the basketball, the players' union all got dead in the past 3 years. So those were part of the discussions that we had that day. The Director General was very honest and professional in the handling of the whole meeting. Started with the whole background of what has been happening in our basketball space, and he now opened the floor for us to bring empirical evidence if they had started October or if they started January. Legendary Colonel Sam,
yeah.
He was there. He's the FIBA President Zone 3. He gave the whole evidence from when he is a board member actually on the board, but not just him, other board members who were there, and they made their own claims too. He gave evidence of when they got, after the election, they got handed over, they got their certificates of coming into office. From the next month, February 2022, when they had their first outing, the female national team, I think they went to Europe, when they were having communications with the ministry. They were giving directives to the secretary.
So already they started working.
They started
even
working.
Before the inauguration, they
started working. So he brought this evidence accordingly. He brought out dates that the lead board, the president acknowledged that yes, he has started working. Some of the evidence, yes, the Director General didn't accept them because he is a lawyer too. Colonel Sam too. He was called to bar about 40-something years ago. So they brought this evidence that showed that okay, yes, he has started working. On defending that's from the present president.
Yes,
the KIDA board was Babs and Kida's friend Mr. Zira. They tried letting the Director General know that they didn't start working
that time.
But you know, what have you not done in 4 years that you want to do in 9 months? You understand? Think, Professor.
This should be their second term. So what you've not done for 8 years, you want to do in.
You understand? You understand?
Yeah.
So let's get where we have appreciated what they've done.
Okay.
No bad feelings, but you know, let's get new hands, innovative hands that will bring more expertise into this space and develop our game.
Okay, good. Before I allow Tom to come in to ask his own question, let's watch this video. I don't know if it's ready. I don't know if my producer, if the video said, let's watch this interview from the meeting. You people had, General. Yes, on Friday. Let's have it then. Before I go, Tom will now take over to ask you his own question. Let's watch the video.
I have a lot of confidence in the men and women who are stakeholders in basketball. We've had a very family-oriented meeting where suggestions has come from different angles. I believe on the back of this meeting, the NBBF will resolve on what to do next, and it should be right for everybody.
We just want to see obey the Constitution and follow the Constitution. So of course, there's different misinterpretation of probably. Unfortunately, everybody wants to interpret to what suits them, but we really need to be truthful, honest. So, and whatever we need to do, think first about the country, not about myself. So all of us want to serve. We're serving, and if we truly really want to serve, and we should be able to know the difference between morality and also what is moral.
We want to follow the law, and at the same time we want to follow it in an orderly manner. So we have an idea of when we should have our election, even though it doesn't abide by the Constitution exactly, but the Constitution is for us, so we can adjust. And now an adjustment is going to be made to ensure that we don't overstretch it, and at the same time we don't just rush and violate the constitution. But at the end, the Congress has the final say. But this is a foundation for the Congress to work with.
Elections, from what we know right now, cannot happen 31st of January, but a window has been opened for it to happen on or before the ending of March, which I think is good. The DG has mediated very well, and all the parties that are here, they've also mediated very well. But I think there's something going on good in basketball. At least we should be positive about everything that is going on.
Okay, we've seen some of those guys that came out for that interview. Okay, let me go to you, Tom. Tom, I don't know. I know you have a whole lot to talk about. Maybe you ask Doctor. Please, go ahead.
I think one thing that we should take note of, first of all, is that, like Dr. Benjamin has said, is that the reason why there was an awareness at the National Sports Commission was because of the planned, supposed planned elongation of the tenure of the president of MBBL, current president of MBBL, Musa Kida, despite his term almost coming to an end. And also, there were said to be elections supposedly in January, that there are going to be elections in January. But also, these elections, the dates were not stated as well. And it seems like they were applying that, okay, let's see how we can extend this, because we were not enough.
Oh, I think we're having some network this thing. Okay, before Tom will come back, before we reestablish network with Tom, Doctor, under this administration, we've seen, especially, we have to give them some kind of credit or kudos. The national team has been flying, especially the D Tigers. Since they came in, I don't think they've lost any game in the African scene, yes, continent. But when they go to international, I think World Cup or Olympics, those are where they have issues. But within the continent, they've won. Under this administration, I think they've gone back to back like 3 or 4 times, and they've equaled the record of Senegal that have won 5 straight Afro basketball for the female. But in all, what do you see? Why is it that the focus in the local league is suffering? Why?
You know, this was part of what was discussed during that meeting, and it's part of the issues that we got fed up of what has been happening with the current board. Internationally, we are doing beautifully well. We bring in foreign players, the best players around the world. Just camp them. Some we even camp them abroad, and they just fly to the competition straight. You understand? But in our home here, we barely have a functional grassroots development. Zenith Bank has been, thank you to Zenith Bank. They've, I think, about 8-10 years, they've been the ones sponsoring the
Zenith League, that's female league.
Yes, and last year they did beautifully well. I think at the end of the league, they made sure they came in themselves. They told the board members of the MBBF that, oh, please just relax. We will handle this and make this like a very beautiful grand finale. But you know, I think it's bigger than that. The female category of Nigerian basketball too should have Division 1, Division 2, the developmental process for them, you understand? Not just the Zenith League or individual competitions, you understand? We've had, with this record that these girls have going how many 5 feet, 4 feet in the African continent, we should if we have a better developmental progress, grassroots development here in Nigeria, we won't have issues of just having players that come from abroad. But we know that in our country here, kids that can't travel abroad are already developed, you understand? And you know, having the girl child development in sports is very, very key. And these are part of the issues. Then coming to the male side again, I think for the past 3 years, it's just been a 2 weeks or 3 weeks stay camp. The male league will go to one state, play for 2-3 weeks, go back home. After that, that's not a league. That's not a developmental process. We saw when they tried bringing in total for Division 3, 2, and 1, yes, but we've not been seeing that. They just do something for 2-3 days, a tournament. That's not what we want. We want a developmental process where these kids from each categories, they will harness them, we make sure they are engaged. You understand? That's what we want in the basketball.
Division 1 that held is it not November last year?
Yeah.
They said the sponsor pulled out. So that's a gist for another day, because it's painful and it's disheartening when you get those stories. When you see those stories, sometimes you're like, what is going on? This is supposed to be a federation, right? Okay, but I don't know. It's turned back. Do I have time now? Okay, I think probably we'll try to establish. Then let's focus on the male league. Now, before this administration, we're having Savannah Conference play for 2 or 3 months, Atlantic Conference play for 2 home and away games. I could remember vividly when you see is it Tijani? I think it's Tijani that was there. We see Delta Force will go to Oluwole Warriors Ibadan. They will play. They will come back. Then I know I used to watch most times that blessed memory of San Sultan when I think he was handling. Is it comments? I think it's comments.
Yeah,
you could see. If I always want to watch comments game, you see comment game. You see artists that will come and perform. People even buy ticket to go and watch that game. Why? Because artists are coming. You see everywhere is chilled up. Those are days of basketball. I'm talking about the male now, not the female. That you see people really watching, and you see, and DSTV was even involved then. I think this is Channel 9 then for DSTV. But what happened to all this sponsorship? Why is it that DSTV had to pull out for the team? What is the problem?
I think the issue started generating from that period. But I wouldn't want us to look back on that. At some point, I played in the DSTV league at some point.
Okay.
Then after DSTV, Kwese Sports also came in. You understand? And this was close to the 2017 election. But you see, I think after that, our home was not organized, and at some point, brands were scared of coming in. So if your home is not organized, nobody wants to bring
put
their
money because they're not guaranteed.
They are not guaranteed. Bringing in large sum of money and putting it into our federation or putting it into basketball,
because what I like to know is business.
It's business.
Because I have to put money. I have to know that I'm going to get something back. Yeah.
Yes, value creates value. You understand? So there's no way I'll come to a house where it's not organized and I want to bring in my own value. What do I get in return? Am I sure that my funds will be well used? You understand? These are part of these issues that has kept on. From the Kida side, they said, they were sued to court and other issues. But at some point, these cases got elapsed. At some point, we wanted seeing that basketball was back on track, but we are still in the reverse. We've lost over 5 generation of players because of all these issues. You see a player started playing in the league for maybe 2018, 2019, and they're already calling him a veteran today.
Exactly.
Because of how inconsistent these things have been, you understand?
True. So, okay, let's go back to Tom. Tom is back again with us. So, Tom, please, sorry we lost you a bit due to the network. So, please, can you go ahead?
Like I was saying earlier, the federation, like I said, had not announced the credible dates for the elections for 2026. And this is what actually caused an outrage. And some stakeholders have already come out to say it seems like there's a planned elongation or there's a planned third tenure for the Musa Kida-led administration in the MBBF. And there was some absence of clarity. And it seems like there was intimidation also from the media side. A lot of people were not allowed to cover league. A lot of people were being threatened by legal actions on the media space as well, like the NBBF. But my own question to you, Doctor, is do you think, in your own opinion, do you think that we've had a credible leadership in the NBBF? Then secondly, why the NSC, why the Nigerian Sports Commission? Then I think my third and last question is this: has there been any date given for the elections?
Okay, beautiful questions. First question: the NBBF board have for this current board, I think they've not really been good to us from how they've been able to work with their board members. I think there's a 13-man board membership on the NBBF board. And from what we heard during the meeting on Friday, Mr. Scott Naji, who is representing the technical aspect, has not been in the know of anything that has been happening on the NBBF board. The player rep too, he has not been in the know. Colonel Sam Ahmed, who is the rep on the federation from the international, that's FIBA, he stands as the FIBA Zone 3 president. He is not aware. Even the NAWIS board member, they were so much, the North Central board member, they were not carried along. They don't even know what was happening. It's just been a board play of between just 4 board members out of 13. So they have just been, they just do what they want to do and how they feel it works for them. And you know, that's not fair. There's a 13-man board or 14-man board member.
And just 4.
And just 4 have been functioning. So how will you be able to capture from each zone, from each member, from the technical, from the player rep, the players and the technical members, they got muted out of everything. You understand? So I think moving forward, we shouldn't be looking backward, but moving forward should be one of the best decisions to make. And I think coming to the second question, where the Director General spoke, he said, please, we should get our house organized. It will be embarrassing for us to say the ministry should come and help us handle our affairs, you understand? And we as stakeholders decided that, yes, please, we would really want to get our home organized, but we will need, I think, the Director General to have an input in it, which he did. At the end of the meeting, we were able to, the Director General gave, told the Vice President, who was representing the President, Mr. Bab, told him he gave us 5 days to get a date, which would set, we call for an annual general meeting and the elections to hold before, on or before March 31st, 2026. And I think everybody left happy. We left a happy family, and we pray that with this, we'll be able to get things right this time around, have a good election, free and fair election. There should be no issue of candidates being forced on those that will vote. Let it be open. If 50 people are coming out to contest, allow them vote so that we know that, yes, it's free and fair. We abide by what the Constitution says. You understand? We have very good number of people coming out for the election, which we won't want to mention names now, since some of them have not openly declared. But, you know, it's okay to say, let's allow them contest. If you feel you are up to the task and you can deliver, why not? Come up and let's see what you have. But the thing is, we are looking at people with good expertise in how to make sure that they bring what this lead board have not brought, you know, more innovations, bring expertise in making sure that our basketball space is back to the top, not just internationally, but grassroots, you understand? That's what we are looking forward to.
Okay. As we wrap up, because we're running out of time, as we wrap up, Doctor, let's move it on the spot. Let's assume you have the opportunity to be in the aims of affair of NBBF. What are you going to change in that federation?
Beautiful question again. If I think this is not rocket science, being president or heading and affairs of this is not rocket science. How are you able to collaborate and partner with other bodies, other organizations to help this game grow? Basketball is more about funding. How are you able to get people that will come in and develop this game? We shouldn't just, yes, government plays a very vital role, but you know, the NBA has grown to the level at which it is because they have more depended on the private sector. You know, that's where funds come in, and they develop this game very, very well. But in this part of the world, we are more dependent on the government. And you know, the bureaucracy of government, they have to source this before this tournament. But if we have leaders that have done tournaments, have done camps,
thinking outside the box,
you know, these are the kind of leaders, innovative leaders that would have good teams where they will be able to have set out marketing departments where they bring in huge sponsors that will be able to help our local league, our national teams, male and female, bring in camps, bring in coaches that will come and develop our basketball. These are the ideas that we want.
Thank you very much, Doctor. Doctor, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, this brings us to the end of today's edition of P&B Sports Show. We extend our sincere appreciation to our distinguished guest, Dr. Bekjang, for his valuable insight and contribution to this discussion on leadership challenge facing Nigerian basketball. Many thanks also go to our in-house sport analyst Tom Aroko for his insightful analysis. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, you can connect with us on all social media platforms, on YouTube and Facebook at Politics&BusinessTV.English, on IG at PNBTV_English, on X at PNBTV_ENG. That's the size of our show this morning. I'm Abel Sunday from me and the entire team here in Abuja. Say goodbye.